Friend of mine had a party at a hotel, and she was working the front desk, and she looked so cute in her little red vest. So I decided to ask her out.
So this year will be 9 years in October that we've been married. We did want to wait till later in life to start a family, so we waited until I was about 30. We really didn't think we'd have a problem. When we weren't able to get pregnant within the first 6 to 8 months, we figured out that something probably was going to be wrong. So we both went to our doctors for some testing, and all his testing came back good. My testing came back with a pituitary tumor, which doesn't allow your prolactin levels to be at a stage where you are fertile. So my prolactin levels were in the 200s, where they really should be around 17 to 21. We tried for another 6 to 8 months with no success. It just wasn't working for us. And I just felt like with our area that I never heard anything great about fertility doctors or who to go to for this. So I started my own research, and that's when I found CNY Fertility out in Syracuse. So it's about a 45-minute drive for us. I started talking about it with a couple of my friends, and they've actually had other friends of theirs use CNY Fertility and have successful pregnancies and children. So that kind of gave me good hope that this was going to work for us. I started following CNY Fertility on Facebook and all the social medias and listening to Dr. Kiltz. And I really liked what I was hearing. I really liked the feedback and the reviews that people were leaving. We did a phone call first.
Yeah.
So we had a phone call with their nurse practitioner first. Then we were able to go into the office, and that's when we did our blood work for like the genetic testing and everything that gets done at CNY Fertility. In November, we tried the first IUI, and that was in 2021. That was unsuccessful, so to say it was devastating is an understatement. I think everybody out there knows that's going through fertility treatments and not being able to have children. We sit here some days and it's like, are we the only ones? But you really, I think it opened our eyes when we went to CNY Fertility that the waiting room was packed.
Yeah.
Like, there are other people that have these same issues. There are people that struggle just like you. It takes a toll on you, not just physically going through all these treatments, but mentally. It takes a toll on your relationship with your partner.
And it's every month too.
And it's every month.
It's not just like, okay, we'll get back and we'll do this again, and then it's another like failure, or however you want to put it. It's hard to be hopeful when you keep getting a negative result, We went
back in and we had our second IUI in December.
Yep.
And we were actually called on New Year's Eve, was the day of our blood test. We came home and walked through the door and my phone was ringing. I'm like, okay. And in my mind, I'm like, I didn't feel any different. I felt the same as the first one. I'm like, it's going to be a negative. We're going with IVF next month. So I answered the phone and she's like, is this Brittany? And I said, yes. And I think I just stared at him in shock when she started rolling through, okay, you're pregnant, your levels are this, that, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, that means I'm pregnant? She's like, yes. And I think it took a minute to register. I think I asked her about 5 times if I was pregnant or if she was for real. I mean, it's hard to explain after 4 years of trying what the emotions you actually go through when you do find out you are pregnant as well. I think the point we got, this is real, is when you finally go back in and you get that ultrasound and you hear that heartbeat. Then you're like, okay, we made it. The great part about CNY is they keep you for those first 12 weeks to make sure everything's okay. So that really calmed us down and made us feel like we were being taken care of, that if anything was wrong, they would find it and we would fix it. And if we ran into anything like that. I got COVID week 11 and I was just devastated because you never know how COVID goes when you're pregnant, especially the first trimester. To go in, and I called them, I'm like, I know I have one more appointment, but can I come in and can you give the heartbeat? And they were like, come on in. So to get that extra appointment that last week I was there with them, to get that heartbeat when I recovered was just another thing that's be like, this place is fantastic. We made it to our 36 weeks. We went to, Kraus. We had our baby at Kraus, fantastic hospital. I got induced at 36 weeks, and it took about 2 days to be induced. So in the end, we had a successful pregnancy. I had a successful labor. She arrived healthy and safe, and she's over 9 months now. So I thank God every day that everything worked out in the end, and we were able to get through everything. But yeah, we kind of got slapped along the way, I feel like, from having a hard time to find the pituitary tumor, to doing the fertility treatments, to then getting cholestasis during pregnancy, and then finally having the baby. It's like, it was a rough 5 years to get to where we are. It was physically and mentally exhausting.
leading up to it, it's so hard. But